Giannis has turned it on the last few games, putting up 71.5 DK fantasy points in game 2 and then 69.25 in game 3. Tonight, he will cost you a whopping 18,300 in the captain spot. Chaser Fade, he needs to be your captain tonight for game 4.
Giannis Antetokounmpo may have the most DraftKings fantasy points in this contest. In fact, I think it's a pretty solid bet, but I don't think that he needs to be your captain. It's going to hurt you in other areas. You need to have good lineup construction here. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, it just simply too much money. I do think that there's another 60 DK fantasy point night out there. And I'd be willing to bet that it's Jrue Holiday. I know that the salaries come up now, $9,200 in the flex, so $400 more than you paid last game. But look, he's showing you that he has a pretty high floor because he's going to get you the assists and rebounds necessary to really make it worth it. So I do think that Jrue Holiday is a guy that I'm getting in my captain spot so I can pair him with Giannis, because I do think that he has 50 to 60 fantasy point upside with the scoring that he can bring to the table. I know that the assists and the rebounds have given him a very nice floor here, and I think that it's all the only direction for him to go is up.
Chaser Fade the Bucks even the series tonight, and you'll take the minus 190 on the money line. I feel like you're going to fade this.
I am fading it. Yeah, I'm not taking the Bucks to win. I'm not afraid to take, a -1 not in the money line if it's going to mean that the team wins. I've done that before in this series, but I'm not going to be taking the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think they win. I think that this is too narrative driven. Everyone out there, saying, okay, well, the Bucks did it once. The Bucks are going to do it again. They're going to come back from 2-0. The series doesn't start until the home team loses. It's going to start tonight in that case, because the Phoenix Suns are a better team. They're going to have learned from their past mistakes here in the Western Conference Finals when they took their foot off the gas really just after game 1 for about 3 games there. Monty Williams is a better coach than that. I think they see a good scheme thrown at Giannis, do the Milwaukee Bucks. Monty Williams does a good job on him, and they're going to make the role players beat him. And I'll tell you what, Chris Middleton, I'll put my money on Chris Middleton not beating the Phoenix Suns tonight, and I'll put my money on that entire team really crumbling at the face of Mikal Bridges having a better game, Devin Booker hitting a few more threes, DeAndre Ayton continuing to battle in the post and dominate. And I do think DeAndre Ayton can do a pretty good job on the defensive end against Giannis. I expect him to see him matched up with him a little bit more. He's done a decent job in this series. I know Giannis has gone off, but this could be like the first game that Giannis looks maybe a little human. I just think that the Milwaukee Bucks, you look at the shooting splits, they do shoot better at home, but the Phoenix Suns here, they really have, you want to scream variance. They have a lot of room to grow here, and I do think that they grow into this series and they take game 4.
All right, Kenny, Chaser Fade game 4 goes under the 220 point total. We kind of talked about this a little bit yesterday, and you said these defenses are really the stars here. So do you want to go under this?
Yeah, I do. I generally like taking the unders in these Milwaukee Bucks playoff games because I don't trust their offense. They just have too much to figure out on that end. They just have really no imagination in the half court. All season long, the Milwaukee Bucks, what they've done is they've gotten out in transition, they've pushed the pace, and they've been able to score because they have a guy that can Euro step from the half court line. That hasn't been the story in this series. Last 2 games, the pace at 97 last game, 94.5. The game before that, I just don't think that those are numbers that really encourage me to bet the over, considering the over hit in game 2 and it was a fluke, the under hit in game 3, and there probably should have been a little bit more cushion there. And game 4, I'm going to fade the Milwaukee Bucks offense once again against an improving defense. And the Milwaukee Bucks defense is really what's gotten them to this point. They have really played very well against some of the best offenses in the league. So I do think that behind that defense, behind a bad offense in the half court and a slow pace, then we get another under.
Let's dive into a player prop for this game now. Chaser Fade, Chris Paul will go over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. What do you think?
Well, it's a tough one because when you look at what he's giving you he had no rebounds last game, and what he's giving you in the assist column, he's pushing towards a double-double, but he actually hasn't had a double-double in this series yet. He's, averaged around 8 or 9 assists. So when you look at that, you're thinking, well, okay, now he's, maybe he gets you 12 in the assists and rebounds. 22 points. I mean, that's something that he did eclipse in the first 2 games of the series. Last game wasn't that great. Look, I still think that there's something a little bit off about Chris Paul's mid-range shooting. It's not quite where I'm used to seeing it. He has added some threes. I think I'm going to go under here, though. I think if the Suns are going to win this game, and I do think so, it's going to be with their front court. I think Mikal Bridges is going to add in the scoring department from a terrible game that he had in Game 3, and I think that DeAndre Ayton's featured, and I do think Devin Booker hits more shots. It's going to be close. This is a very good line. I don't really have interest in betting it because it's too close, but I'd probably take the under.
All right, Kenny, take us home. Slated per pick. What is your favorite bet for tonight's Game 4?
Yeah, I said it yesterday, but Pat Connaughton over 7.5 points. Like, this is a guy that really is seeing the floor a whole lot for the Milwaukee Bucks. 30 minutes in Game 3, 33 minutes in Game 2. I like to put him in my lineup as well. I think he stuffs the stat sheet. He's only $4,200. 18.75 fantasy points in Game 3, 25 the game before that. I'm all over Pat Connaughton tonight. He's just, look, this is the sad state that the Bucks offense is in. The Pat Connaughton is an important player for them. He is going to take shots. He'll probably take 7 shots tonight. I think the odds are with him getting over 7.5 points. And I do like Pat Connaughton as well in your DraftKings lineups at $4,200.